He stood at the edge of the driveway, unable to make his legs carry him the last 20 feet. In none of the versions he'd imagined did his daughter step behind her mother's leg and ask, in a small, careful voice, "Who is that man?" Then she held out her worn, stuffed rabbit toward him and asked, "Do you want to meet Mr. Buttons? He's been waiting for you too." The porch light had been left on for 1,100 nights. Sarah never turned it off, not once, not even when the electric bill made her wince. Tonight, for the first time in 3 years, someone was walking toward it who wasn't a stranger. He stood at the edge of the driveway, duffel bag heavy on his shoulder, unable to make his legs carry him the last 20 feet. 3 years ago, James had kissed a 6-year-old girl goodbye at an airport gate. She'd cried into his shoulder and made him promise he'd be home for her birthday. He missed that birthday, and the one after it. A training rotation became a deployment extension. A deployment extension became a medical hold overseas, and somewhere in the paperwork and silence, 3 years disappeared. Sarah raised Lily alone through all of it, through fevers at 2 a.m., through a school play where the seat beside her stayed empty, through the quiet grief of loving someone who existed only in photographs. Letters had grown shorter over time, not because love faded, but because there was less and less that felt safe to write down. Lily stopped asking when Daddy was coming home somewhere around her 7th birthday. She didn't stop loving him, she just stopped believing the date would ever be real. Sarah watched her daughter build a wall, brick by brick, the same way soldiers learn to build their own. Now James stood on that driveway, and the porch light he'd once called Sarah's stubborn little son flickered against a face he barely recognized as his own. He'd rehearsed this moment for 3 years. In every version, Lily ran to him. In none of the versions he'd imagined did his daughter step behind her mother's leg and ask, in a small, careful voice, "Who is that man?" The words landed harder than any round he'd ever taken cover from. Sarah knelt down slowly, her hand steady on Lily's shoulder, and said the only thing she knew how to say. "That's your dad, baby. That's your dad who's been trying so hard to come home to you." James didn't move closer. He crouched down instead, lowering himself so he wasn't a tall stranger looming over a frightened child, but just a man at her eye level, the same height as her fears. He didn't reach for her. He didn't ask her to remember him. He simply said, "I know I look different. I know it's been a long time. You don't have to know me yet. I just wanted you to know I never once stopped thinking about you, every single day." For a long moment, nothing happened. The porch light hummed, a neighbor's dog barked somewhere down the street, and Lily, still gripping her mother's sleeve, looked at the stranger's tired eyes and saw something underneath the unfamiliar face, a softness that felt, somehow, like a memory she couldn't quite place. She didn't run to him, not yet. Instead, she took one small step out from behind her mother. Then she held out her worn, stuffed rabbit toward him and asked, "Do you want to meet Mr. Buttons? He's been waiting for you too." James's composure, built over 3 years of holding himself together through things no man should have to hold together, finally broke. He reached out with both hands, carefully, like the rabbit was the most important thing he'd been handed in years, and said, "I would love that. I would love that so much." It wasn't the reunion he had pictured. There was no running, no leap into his arms, no instant return of the little girl who used to fall asleep on his chest. But there was a rabbit named Mr. Buttons, held out by small, careful hands, and a father willing to start again from wherever his daughter actually was, not from where he wished she'd be. Sarah watched from the doorway, tears she'd been holding back for 3 years finally falling. Not from sadness, but from something closer to relief. The wall Lily had built wasn't gone, but for the first time in 3 years, there was a door in it. That night, Lily fell asleep on the couch between 2 people, her small hand resting on top of her father's, Mr. Buttons tucked safely between them. James didn't sleep. He just watched his daughter breathe, memorizing a face that had grown up without him, promising himself silently that he would spend however long it took earning back the years he'd lost. Some homecomings don't look like the movies. Some of them start with a stuffed rabbit and a question a father is grateful just to be asked. This is one of those stories, inspired by the real, quiet courage of the families who wait and the service members who come home changed, trying to become fathers again, one small step at a time.